The NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship Tournament continues. Semifinal Saturday rolling along with our second semifinal. It's the home team, the UCLA Bruins, the 3 seed. They take on the defending champions, the 2 seed STANFORD Cardinal. Greg Meskel here with you for NCAA.com. Thanks for joining us. There's a look at the Bruins. They're 14-4 on the year, coming off a win over Hawaii yesterday, 12-7. Cardinal, 13-5, and winners over Fresno State yesterday, 16-9. Let's take a look back at what transpired yesterday. And first up, the Bruins taking on the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine. Hawaii got off to a nice start, put a little scare into UCLA, and then the Bruins took control after that with sweet lob shots such as those from Brooke Maxson. And then a nice turn inside the big center, Ava Johnson, doing the work. And you saw the balance here of this Bruins team as they win at 12-7 over Hawaii. Then Stanford, they took on Fresno State. The Bulldogs making their tournament debut here in 2021. They gave a little push early, but the Cardinal showing off their depth as Stanford spread it around on the offensive end. Sarah Klass playing well. The senior has been a leader for this program. A lob on the counter, all part of the 16-goal effort. Emily Eichelberger does the job primarily in cage, and that's how the bracket worked out yesterday. We have one semifinal complete. USC, they have moved on to the championship, defeating Arizona State 10-4, and we'll find out who they're going to play tomorrow with this one that should be a highly competitive matchup between two very familiar foes when you're talking about the NCAA tournament. We'll talk about that more as we go, but these two get together all the time in the NCAA championship tournament. There's a look at the home team Bruins. Jamia Bent goes in goal. Joining her in the field, Hannah Palmer, Bella Baya, Annalise Miller, Katrina Drake, and Lexi Leibowitz. Emily Eichelberger in cage for the Card. Lexi Rowell, Hannah Shab, Chloe Harbilis, Sarah Klass, Jewel Romer, Skylar Jones. For Stanford, officials here, Danielle DeBejian, Darren Spirito Santo. As we are prepared to get started. This is the 4th meeting of the year between Stanford and UCLA. Stanford took 2 of those. Most recently in the MPSF semifinal. That was a 13-8 win for the Cardinal on May 1st. Prior to that, UCLA won 11-10 on March 28th. The day before, Stanford won 12-11. So fairly close games throughout. So we get a good look at John Tanner, head coach in his 24th season. To his right, longtime assistant Susan Ortwine. To his left, Kyle Utsumi, been a part of that program for a while. Brandon Johnson in the gray as well. And across the way here, UCLA bench. Adam Wright is there. He has the higher stool. And we are underway. UCLA in the Whitecaps, Stanford in the Cardinal, and we'll jump it up to get things started here as Klass and Leibowitz. A couple of high school teammates going at it here on the jump, and UCLA will control. Bruins moving right to left on your screen here as we are underway in our second semifinal. 2021 NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship. Entry right away into Drake, the turn, and immediately Katrina Drake draws an exclusion. Skylar Jones will go off. That's her first as we are just getting underway. And the Bruins have a chance to strike first. Here's Leibowitz now, left-hander. Working it around the perimeter. Palmer. Good look in front, bar down the follow. Katrina Drake doing it all this time down pool. She draws the exclusion and then picks up the follow. And the power play is there for the Bruins. Second look. Excellent look inside. That's Maxson, bar out, but Drake, she picks it up. And able to put it home. UCLA off to the early 1-0 lead. Opening minute here in the first. Cardinal will get their first look on offense. Here's Hannah Shab. Lexi Rowell in at 2 meters posting. Shab facing pressure. works to Jewel Romer, talented freshman for the Stanford team. Shot clock to 5, dangerous pass from Romer. Bent comes out, lobbed up over top, a race for it, and Jamia Bent will get there after the Sarah Class lob got partially tipped, didn't have a ton on it. Class trying to get that somewhere towards the cage, sensing that Bent was off her line, but not enough. Ordinary foul here. Brooke Maxson cruising in, the senior. Lob try, got it, Brooke Maxson. Big time delivery early in this one. It's a 2-0 lead for the Bruins. What a different start for UCLA here. They had a slow beginning against Hawaii. Rainbow Wahine were able to take an early lead. UCLA here dialed in from the opening moments. Maxson, the senior out of Santa Ana, California. Adam Wright says she does the dirty work for this squad. But a pretty lob there from distance. Class now working to Skylar Jones. Jones across the way, Harbillis. A couple of fakes, monster field block. Leibowitz crushes that try, but then ball under is the call, and then we'll have an exclusion. So UCLA had the rebound, but Stanford forces the ball under and then gets the power play try. Jewel Romer making things difficult for UCLA. First power play for the Cardinal. Romer just can't hang on. It's taken away. Just lost the grip as she worked along 2 meters. Exclusion against Hannah Palmer for UCLA on that previous play. Now Bruins on the attack. Offensive, but first an exclusion. Thought we had an offensive call there, but first an exclusion is called, and that will go against Rowell. And so a power play here for the Bruins. Annalise Miller works to Belabaya. Out high, here's Val Ayala. Leibowitz now. A few fakes, puts it home. What a start for UCLA. Lexi Leibowitz hitting on the 6-on-5. It's a 3-0 beginning for the Bruins. Second power play goal. Ayala spots Leibowitz, and the lefty goes near side. You see the depth of this UCLA squad as John Tanner looks on for Stanford. They have a starting unit, but they have a ton of talent that comes in off the bench. One of them, Val Ayala. She makes the pass there. On the other end, Harbillis stopped by Jamia Bent. The cage was wide open, and then Jamia Bent quickly closed the gap to turn away that Harbillis try. As this is unfolding, it looks good, and then Bent is there with the right hand. Bruins back to it. Lob again. This one is high and off the bar. That was Mina Simmons trying to beat Eichelberger on the lob. Class now moving in. Knocked away, Bent. It'll come back in at 2 meters. Jamia Bent, she got the start yesterday, and you see why she's back at it today. She had been splitting time throughout the year. Georgia Phillips and Jamia Bent, really trading off matches, but Bruins stick with Bent, and so far so good. Harbillis looking around. She'll push it out to Hannah Constance. Constance working in and rips it. And Stanford is on the board with their first goal, the sophomore out of Irvine, California. Hannah Constance walking it in and hitting. So this pass, she has to go track it down, walks it in, and able to go cross cage high, putting that one past Jamia Bent. Stanford, a much-needed goal. They're on the board, and now a little momentum. An offensive foul here against the Bruins. And the ball back to the Cardinal. Abby Hill has come on. Eichelberger fires this down to Madison Stamen. Great look inside, wide open off the bar. Sophie Wallace didn't know how open she was there momentarily. 360 spin inside, and it's off the bar and away. Look at this, has room to operate, then the defense comes across, and that one is off the bar. Ava Johnson has come on. They go into Johnson, working, Johnson turning and hitting. Ava Johnson powers it home for her first. Battling in at 2 meters and just waiting for that entry to come in. Ball's in front of her, and then just battling to break free from Harbillas. And once she snaps to it and turns, that has proven tough for even the best teams to stop. Ava Johnson now 26 goals on the year. Adam Wright talked about her development this week and how she's become one of the best centers in the country. He said teams have such respect for her, they're running huge zones. It becomes very frustrating for Johnson. She doesn't get to do what she wants to do, but I just told her, look, that means that you're doing your job. If that's how defenses are responding, you're providing an important threat for us on offense. This time she gets a chance to do what she does. Stanford trying to answer. Not this time for Constance. We'll stay right here in transition and offensive. Cardinal with an opportunity. They've got some numbers. And then that pass is off the mark. And you hear the groans from the Stanford bench. Bent, another stop. That was a big opportunity for the Cardinal. They had the numbers on the contra foul in the backcourt against UCLA. It's a 4-1 lead for the Bruins. Under 3 to play here in the first. Here's Abby Hill working. Hannah Shab guarding her closely. They go back in Johnson, double team. That'll be an ordinary. Johnson works this back out to Malia Allen. Freshman left-hander. Allen with 7 on the timer. Skip shot, swallowed up, big field block. Katie Lyons comes across to devour that attempt. Great pursuit here from Lyons with the left. Sophie Wallace here. Wallace moving in, nothing there. Works to Constance. Back into Wallace, pressure from the Bruins, and a takeaway. That's Roxy Wheaton coming across for the steal. We are under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. A fantastic start for the home team Bruins, ahead 4-1. Here's Ayala. A lot of commotion inside 5 meters here. You can hear Adam Wright tell Hill to get out so Ava Johnson can go to work. Ava Johnson spinning Shab. Excellent crash. That was going to be a problem if she broke free as Hill was wide open. And then in transition, Johnson is excluded. So frustration there for Ava Johnson as she tried to turn inside. Met with a double team, a turnover, and then called for the exclusion. And now Stanford will call for time. And they'll set things up on their 6-on-5. There's John Tanner, the USOPC Collegiate Coach of the Year, announced earlier this year. Big honor for him in his long run at Stanford. Out of the timeout, 6-on-5. Jill Romer has a look. Now Class, here's Harbillas. On the advantage, Stanford. Sides coming even. Class moves in, Harbillas gives a look. In close, Shab turned away by Bent. Jamia Bent piling up the saves in this first quarter. Here canceling this power play try by the Cardinal. Less than a minute to play, first quarter. Maxon moves. Dangerous pass. Class stepping in front. Ordinary will keep possession with Hannah Palmer. Timer to 8. Maxon takes a look. Slow skip is off the post. And Eichelberger's there. Final moments of this first quarter. Shot clock and game clock are even. 28 seconds and counting. Sophie Wallace now. Plenty of time for the Cardinal. Constance takes a look, now Wallace. Moving in along 2 meters, goes to Constance. Knocked away by Jamia Bent. Rebound controlled by the Cardinals. 6 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Into the corner. Wallace with 1. Gets it away, pulled down by Jamia Bent. And fitting that she gathers up the final shot in this first quarter. And a fantastic start for the home team UCLA Bruins. They jump out to a 4-1 lead over the defending champs in Stanford. 4 different players score for the UCLA Bruins, and Jamia Bent 7 saves in that first quarter. Cardinal will try and work their way back as we move on to the second quarter. We'll take a timeout now and come back. You're watching the 2021 NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship live from Los Angeles.
Their support enhances NCAA championships and the educational and athletic experiences of nearly
Stanford and UCLA here to support. You can see kind of an unofficial line there separating the two fan bases. It starts with that UCLA flag and the guy in the blue shirt. And they have to like what they have seen thus far from the UCLA Bruins. As good as their offense has been, 4 goals against the defending champs in the first quarter. How about Jamia Bent, the senior from Los Angeles out of Eagle Rock Senior High School? 7 big saves through the opening 8 minutes. Had an answer just about every time. Stanford went 0 for 2 on the power play as well, thanks in large part to Jamia Bent, as we talked about, had split time with Georgia Phillips throughout the bulk of this season, but getting the opportunity here in this NCAA tournament yesterday and today. Spent time with the Rose Bowl Water Polo Club, and now here in Westwood. Looks up to another fantastic goalie, Olympic gold medalist Ashley Johnson on Team USA. So we see the UCLA staff talking things through, preparing for the start of this second quarter. We know USC has advanced. Now waiting to find out who will meet them in the championship tomorrow. We'll have it for you right here, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific on NCAA.com. We told you that these two teams have met many, many times, but just to give you a little context here, over the history of the NCAA championship, this is the 20th year of the women's NCAA championship. These two met in the very first championship. It was a UCLA win over Stanford. They then met the next year, 2002. That was Stanford's first title. They beat UCLA in the finals. What happened in 2003? UCLA defeats Stanford in the finals. Back and forth they went. Bruins then ripped off that run of 5 straight titles from 2005 to 2009. Within that, they beat Stanford on 4 occasions in some portion of that tournament. So semifinals, finals, and then you start to see as we get into the 2010s, the tables start to turn. As Stanford had waited a long time for their next title after that 2002 championship, and then the Cardinals start taking control, and they're the ones that are defeating the Bruins a couple of times in the championship match, a couple of times in the semifinals. Most recently, 2019, it was a semifinal win for Stanford over UCLA. So typically, these teams find each other in the postseason, usually with a lot on the line, and it's happened again here in 2021 in the semifinal round. And if you've watched enough high-level water polo, you know that 4-1, not over just yet. Teams have gotten down before and worked their way back in, so hang in with us here for the next 3 quarters. Opening sprint to start the second. A race for it. Bruins are there. And Mina Simmons will control for UCLA. Right now, Stanford fronting any post opportunity. That's Katrina Drake working at 2 meters. Now she gets in front of the defender. Valiala will work along 2 meters. Leibowitz. Offensive contra foul that was away from the ball, and UCLA turns it over. Stanford now takes control. Opening moments, second quarter. Eichelberger pushes ahead now. Here's Harbilas. Shab. Offensive foul on this end. You can see a suit grab there. Looks like Lexi Rowell was the guilty party.
Here in the opening minute of the second.
And now we go on the other end. Roxy Wheaton pushing in. A little bit of a high pass, but it's gathered by Annalise Miller, the freshman. Miller gives a look. She was quiet yesterday. A few fakes, tries the lob. Eichelberger sees that the whole way and takes it down.
Eichelberger. On the second minute.
Now on the counter, here's Shab.
6:40.
Shab moving in. Class looking to post. Defended there by Leibowitz. Here's Shab working along 2 meters. Shot clock to 10. Shab has it back. Pops it over the top, dangerous pass. Trying to spot Chloe Harbilas, who just surfaced, but 2 Bruins were there. Valiala comes up with it. And Jamia Bent will move it ahead to Ayala to start this UCLA offense. Just about 2 minutes into this second quarter. 4-1 UCLA. Here's Simmons. Tries to go inside. That pass didn't have enough on it. It was partially tipped, taken away, but hang on, we won't get far. An offensive foul in transition against Stanford, and now the Bruins will get it right back. Miller cruising in. Ordinary. Ayala pours it inside, but Drake has it tipped away. Good help defense from behind. That's Skylar Jones defending in close. And was able to take that one off the hand of Drake before she could do anything with it.
Working at center, Shab. Defending Simmons. That's to
Romer. Outside, Jones on the skip. Got it to go. Cardinal get one back, trailing now 4-2. Skylar Jones hitting from the outside for her first goal and her 7th on the year. Out of San Ramon Valley. SRV well represented in this game. Skylar Jones, Sarah Klass, Lexi Leibowitz among those that went to the power in the East Bay. Abby Hill off the post. Let it fly from the outside. Stanford looking to build some momentum, has some fresh bodies in there after the goal.
5-minute mark here before halftime.
Eichelberger finds Shab. And now an exclusion. Stanford up on the power play.
6-on-5 Stanford.
This will send off Abby Hill. She picked up 2 quick fouls yesterday. We'll try and stay out of foul trouble in this one.
Back to Shab, back to Constance.
Constance, here's Shab. Faking, not there. Works to Romer, now Klass. Still on the advantage. Here's Harbilas. This time it works. Power play strike for the Cardinal. Chloe Harbilas, they tried that with her moments ago. She was buried, the pass was taken. This time she gets the separation. Second look, textbook stuff here as she's able to just slide away from that defender. And it is a split-second sort of thing. Malia Allen turned her head and she turned back and Harbilas was gone. Ball was in the back of the net. 37th of the year for the Corona Del Mar graduate. Cardinal quickly back into this one. 2 in a row. They trail 4-3. UCLA onto the advantage. They're 2 for 2 so far on the 6-on-5, but they give it away. There'll be no conversion this time, putting it right into the waiting hand of Jewel Romer. And Romer is on the move. Full head of steam. Hill getting back on defense. Weak side, Harbillas got another. We're tied at 4. Chloe Harbillas, 2 in a row. Romer with a beautiful dish. If you've been to a water polo match, you've at least heard someone yell weak. The entire Stanford bench was yelling weak side, and that's why, because Harbillas was there waiting to cash in. She has 2 goals in a matter of moments, and we're all even at 4. 3 unanswered from the Cardinal. Halfway through this second quarter. Maxon. The exclusion against Stanford. Hannah Shab goes off. Power play here for UCLA. Leibowitz. Around the way, Palmer works. Miller pops it inside, a little too high. That was too high for Maxon to handle. And so UCLA has faltered on their last 2 6-on-5 tries. And here's Madison Stamen. Stamen picked up by Leibowitz at 6 meters. A tussle inside, Class and Maxon. Miller ready to drop and help. Wallace, Constance, 4 on the clock. A few fakes, a lob, and nothing there. That one's high of the cage from Sophie Wallace. Ordinary called as Hannah Palmer controls into the front court. Brooke Maxon now. Entry in. Drake waiting for a call, nothing there. We've seen it a couple of times today. Players partially submerged, thinking there'll be a whistle. One doesn't come, and it's an easy takeaway. And Stanford now on the attack. That was a dicey pass. It finds its way to Constance. Now back inside. Harbillas draws the penalty. Chloe Harbillas taking over as of late. 2 in a row, and now draws the 5-meter and a chance for the Cardinal to go in front. This will go against Hannah Palmer. That's her second foul as she found herself dealing with the bigger Harbillas, and now Romer to put Stanford in front. Bent denies it. Jamia Bent continues to play excellently to start this one. Second look. Went left, knocks it down. So the first penalty try, chance for Stanford to go up, and Bent is there with the denial on the 5-meter try. Now Maxon moving in, lobbing, and Eichelberger. She got beat on the lob early, not letting it happen again. She's turned a few of those away. Under 2 left here, first half. Redshirt senior from Hawaii sees that one and takes it down. Bruins ready to double the post as Class gets to work. Has help, but it's tipped. Leibowitz comes across and knocks that one away before Class could dish to Wallace, who was wide open. Leibowitz and Class tangled up in the backcourt. Leibowitz breaks free with 1:15 to go, first half, all even at 4. Maxon moving in. A few fakes, works to Leibowitz. Maxon walks it in, lobs again, and this one is off the mark. So it goes back to that lob try again. This time wide of the cage. And now Stanford on the counter. Here's Romer. Last time she spotted Harbillas for an easy goal. This time UCLA gets back. Less than a minute to play, first half. Stamen. Picked up there by Baya. And now Harbillas out high. Works to Romer. Long cross pass to Class. Shoots it and Bent tips it away. Jamia Bent getting a hand on just about everything. And we'll see a yellow card here to John Tanner. Second look, Bent with the left hand. Shot clock is off, 31 seconds left. Cardinal can take this one down to the end here in this first half. They trailed 4-1. They scored 3 unanswered. Too aggressive there, and no complaint from Katrina Drake. She's departing. The exclusion here, and a power play for Stanford. Skip, Bent has another one. Into the corner, but trouble. It's going to be taken back by Stanford. So as soon as they can get to the corner here, sides are even, but Stanford maintains possession. Class on the skip, that sails high with 5 seconds left here in the first half. Last try now, Palmer will let go. 1 second left, pops it up, and Eichelberger punches it away. And that is how the first half comes to a close. UCLA roars out to a 4-1 lead, but the defending champs, the Cardinal, composed, come back to tie it 4-4. Goalies playing well as of late. You just saw Jamia Bent. There's Emilia Eichelberger. And we've got ourselves a pretty exciting semifinal matchup. One of these teams will take on USC tomorrow for the title. We've got 2 more quarters to go. All even, 4-4, UCLA and Stanford in their 4th meeting of the year. We take a timeout and return. Second half on the way.
NCAA sponsors 99.
At UCLA, second semifinal here at the NCAA Women's Water Polo Championship, and we have a competitive matchup through 2 quarters. UCLA and Stanford all even at 4. Bruins jumped out to a 4-1 lead. Stanford scored 3 unanswered, 2 of those from Chloe Harbillas to make it a 4-4 game. Cardinal were stopped on a penalty as well. So we look back at some important moments in this first half. That was Katrina Drake on the follow. And the lob try, that worked for Maxon. She's gone back to it a few times to no avail. Lexi Leibowitz, all part of UCLA building that advantage. Stanford trying to get on the board. They do. Hannah Constance and Ava Johnson working in close. So that was the 4-1 lead there for UCLA. Then Stanford starts to chip away. They get one from the outside, and then Harbillas slides inside. And then, not a replay, a different goal. Harbillas from Romer. Straight cash, and we're even at 4 as we start off the second half. There's a look at some of our halftime numbers. Jamia Bent, heck of a first half, double-digit saves already for the senior goalkeeper. And we get started now in the third. Cardinal control to open things up. Here's Harbillas. We'll have an exclusion. Ball's coming out. Well, actually, this might just be a clock malfunction. So not an exclusion as far as we can tell, just a clock issue, so we'll get that figured out. Make sure all the wires are secure. And we're back to live action. Got things figured out. Shot clock set to 19, and we're underway. Shab working along 2 meters. Goes out to Class. And now we will see an exclusion, and Stanford will get the power play. That'll be Mina Simmons going off. Cardinal with a chance to go in front. Here's Romer. Class. Now Harbilis. Inside. Side's coming even. Save bent. Knocks that down on the try from Class. And then gets that off to Ava Johnson. Early moments, third quarter. Cardinal have had a couple of opportunities here to take their first lead. And now we'll see an exclusion. That's a suit grab on Shab. So she heads out. But then a takeaway. UCLA never gets a shot off. Harbilis there comes over for the steal. And now on the other end, Romer leaking out. Jewel Romer spinning and lobbing, and that's just off the mark, and Bent can hunt that down. Abby Hill handling. Ava Johnson again posting inside. Works to Ayala. Back to Leibowitz. Leibowitz fires, field block. Stanford's there defensively. And we stay even at 4. More than 2 minutes gone by here in the third. Wallace now. Romer walks it in. Let's fly. Bar down and in. Jewel Romer connecting from the outside, and Stanford takes their first lead in this one as Romer has her first. Here's Jewel Romer with time. Bar down and count it. Bent tried to scoop that one out of the cage. And Stanford takes the lead. Maxon. Johnson working for position. Ayala trying to drive through. Maxon keeps it low and skips it in. Brooke Maxon has another. We're tied at 5. Maxon, after repeated lob attempts, this time goes low on the skip, has her second. We're even at 5. And almost like the baseball pitcher setting you up with a couple of changeups and then comes back with the fastball. Works for Maxon, her second. We're tied at 5. Harbilis now gives a look. Working to Wallace, under 5 to play, third quarter. Shot clock to 10 now for Sophie Wallace. Gives off to Romer, rips another. Jewel Romer heating up for the Cardinal. She lifts Stanford back in front with her second. Now 44 goals for the freshman. This time up on her legs. And while she was there, might as well put it on net. Able to connect. Romer, one of the best young talents in the country, part of the USA national team, was part of the first beach water polo world championship for Team USA, the 2019 FINA Worlds in Gwangju, South Korea. He's gotten the time with the senior national team in training over the last year as they prepare for the Tokyo Olympics. The exclusion on this end. 6 on 5 now for the Bruins as they try and answer. Now Romer will go off on the exclusion after scoring back-to-back goals. Ayala, here's Hill. Works to Ayala, nothing there. Swinging around Palmer. Palmer moving in, a few fakes, and she's off the bar and away. Cardinal kill off the power play. UCLA started 2 for 2 on the advantage. They're now 2 for 6. They failed to convert on their last 4 tries. Long pass, a little too long, trying to spot Class. Jamia Bett comes up with it, and now she'll take a look and push it ahead to Palmer. Numbers developing. It's a 3-on-2 for the Bruins. Palmer advancing. Palmer moving in. Eichelberger will take it herself, and Palmer wins that battle. The goalie called off the defense as Palmer swam in, and the sophomore is able to connect. Second look here. Defender there, Jones, thinks about picking up Palmer. We could hear Eichelberger say, stay. Eichelberger letting Palmer come in. Those are the decisions that goalies have to make. Orchestrating that defense, and Hannah Palmer connects her 36th goal. Adam Wright told us this week, didn't realize how good Hannah Palmer was. She's carried the teams at times. He thought she's someone that could have a chance beyond UCLA when you're talking about national team. Just getting started here as a sophomore. A little more than 3.5 to play, third quarter. All even once again, this time at 6. Here's Wallace. Sophie Wallace with 9 on the timer, lets it go. Jamia Bent has another save. She was in double digits at halftime and is just adding to her tally. With the right hand. Abby Hill now in at 2 meters. Offensive. And the ball turns over, back to the Cardinal. Three minutes now left in the third quarter. Romer, 2 big goals here for Stanford. Constance pours it inside. The turn, and it falls right into the hands of Jamia Bent thanks to pressure from behind. Good help from Abby Hill. Belabaya came over as well. And now Maxon works to Leibowitz. Mina Simmons now in at 2 meters, working on Romer. Here's Hill. Takes it and hits. Abby Hill's on the board. And UCLA retakes the lead, now 7-6. After Stanford had taken the advantage not long ago, the teams traded goals, and now Hill loads it up and hits. The sophomore from Santa Barbara out of Dos Pueblos High School. Always a strong team in the high school ranks. She had an excellent year last year in her first year. 41 goals, led the team. Production dropped off a little bit this year, 24 goals. Adam Wright told her she doesn't have to do it all. Just be Abby Hill. That's going to work out good enough for the Bruins. And you see what she can do there, connecting. 1 goal lead for the Bruins, nearing the 2-minute mark here in the third. Class back at it, dealing with Maxon. Now Wallace, long pass, Harbillis throws that inside. Great entry, gathered and tipped away. Jamia Bent knocks that one down as Hannah Shab was closing in on that near post. It'll come back in at 2 meters. This was a great entry in, and then Shab sees that shot tipped away at the last moment by Bent. And then a contra foul. Adam Wright looking for that call. It is acknowledged by the referee. Second look here. Bent up big to turn that one away. Bruins have it back, under 2 to play here in the third. Drive through by Ayala. Leibowitz now. Maxon. All kinds of activity by a driving far post. And that's an offensive right there in front of the official as Harbillis pops up, shows her suit being grabbed by Leibowitz. Turns back to the Cardinal. Eichelberger way down to Shab. Looking for Wallace, it wasn't there. Now works to Harbillas, 1:15 to go. Constance. And now Jewel Romer. Shot clock to 8. Cross pass, here's Wallace. They pour it inside, double team. Ball's taken away by the Bruins. Jamia Bent then throws it to go chase it, get it out of a difficult position with Harbillas lurking. Ayala there helping to knock that one away as we're under a minute to go here in the third. 7-6 Bruins. Leibowitz on the attack. Full head of steam. Leibowitz moving in. And she's knocked down there at 6 meters. Drake in at 2 meters. The exclusion called. That's off the ball. We'll get a timeout by UCLA. Constance the guilty party. Bruins will get their 7th attempt. At the 6-on-5, 32 seconds left here in this third quarter. Big moment for the Bruins. They went up 4-1. They saw Stanford erase that lead. Tied at 4-4. They saw the Cardinal take their first lead. The two went back and forth, and then the Bruins have pulled back in front 7-6. Classic semifinal showdown here at the NCAA tournament. The type of game you expect between two of the best. Hannah Palmer. Malia Allen now along 2 meters. Advantage Bruins. Abby Hill gives a look. Here's Palmer now. Inside the 2. UCLA never gets a shot off as they continue to struggle as of late on the 6-on-5. They turn that one over. Last chance here for the Cardinal. Moving in, Constance. 2 seconds left. Lets it fly. The skip is stopped by Bent, and that's all for the third. Stanford battles back in this one. They go in front. UCLA takes the lead back, and that's where we're at, headed to the final 8 minutes in this semifinal trip to the championship matches on the line between UCLA and Stanford. The two familiar foes in NCAA tournament play. They find themselves going down to the wire once again. Abby Hill put the Bruins in front, 7-6. We take a timeout and return. Fourth quarter coming up from Westwood.
As always, remember to wash and sanitize your hands frequently. Thank you for
Let's take a look back to our number 1 seed. And then USC, they showed their depth, which has been their calling card for many years now, where they have that second 6 that can come in to supplement the stars. You never know who's going to step up. In this one, Maritza Bakic, 3 big goals. Maud Meggans, that's someone you do expect game in and game out, delivering as well. Connecting here on the penalty, and USC wins it 10-4. And they move into the championship match tomorrow, trying to get their first title since 2018. The last decade, it was all USC or Stanford trading the championship back and forth. Do we get another USC-Stanford matchup tomorrow, or will the Bruins move in to the title bout? We've got one more quarter left in this thrilling semifinal as Adam Wright talks through things with his UCLA squad. And like so many coaches that we talked to this week, they all echoed how excited their teams were to be able to have a season. They lost the thing they loved last year in water polo. They spent more time away from the pool than they've ever spent, probably since they learned to swim. And so got a chance to get back into the water with their teammates, play water polo. Those early days were just swimming and not really much water polo practice. So to get back to doing what they love, it is not lost on any of these athletes here. And now a chance to compete for a championship. Wright really focused on his senior group having one last shot. Of course, depends who will come back with extra eligibility, but just felt like last year's team was on to something special. They had that taken away, and so to get it back here for these seniors, it's very important for them. And similar sentiment for Stanford. They felt like their season was cut short just as they were getting to the high-stakes moments, as John Tanner called them last season. Felt like this year has been a continuation of what they were building last year. They've got 8 more minutes to see who will advance into that championship. Opening sprint controlled by the Cardinal. NCAA championship tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. USC versus one of these two teams. Abby Hill trying to step in front. Working there against Constance. Ordinary called. Left-hander Constance now can control. Pulls it back out. Hannah Shab posting. Good look inside, wave it off inside the 2. So before that entry pass could come in, Shab too close. Need to have the ball if you're going to go inside 2 meters. Now the long outlet. Here's Leibowitz cruising in. Leibowitz shooting and scoring. Bruins in front 2. Lexi Leibowitz, the senior, with her second. Stanford looks to have a great opportunity on one end. Shab in deep, called for inside the 2, and then Jamia Bent, who is having perhaps the best game of her career. Throws a dime down the other end, spotting Leibowitz, who puts it away. It's an 8-6 lead for UCLA. Entry inside, tipped up, bounced off the head of Maxson. Looking in for class, and Bent comes up with it. Opening minutes of this 4th quarter.
Nice effort at 2-meter defense for Maxson.
2-goal lead for the Bruins. They had a 3-goal lead to start. Stanford erased that. Offensive foul. Cardinal will take control. Eichelberger gives a look, and John Tanner will take a timeout. Both coaches have stockpiled their timeouts here for this 4th quarter. You understand why. Stanford calls for time. They now have 2 full timeouts left. UCLA sitting on all 3 of their full timeouts. It's Brandon Johnson talking through some things with John Tanner as they get their plan of attack set up here, knowing that every possession is going to be highly valuable now in this 4th quarter. Let's see what they emerge with. Looks like they're going to a set play. One that everyone already knows. Don't need to break out the dry erase board. UCLA preparing on defense. Speaking of their defense, we told you about the efforts of Jamia Bent. 16 saves and 2 assists for the senior. Came in averaging about 8 saves a game, so doubling her typical output. Stanford defense ready. UCLA trying to return to the championship game here. They've not been there since 2016, where they lost to Stanford. Back to live action now, out of the timeout. A lot of drives through. There's class on the far side, and then Shab on the near side. Trying to go into class, and it's taken away. Ayala, and the Cardinal never got in sync coming out of the timeout. Had a series of drives go through, looking at a potential double post option. They ended up going with class, but the Bruins were there for the takeaway. Ayala moving in. Ayala takes a look. Works out to Maxson. Shot clock to 12. Maxson a few fakes. Tries the lob. Got another one. Brooke Maxson hitting on the lob shot. And the senior has 3. So now Maxson has this Stanford defense guessing. She started with the lob, kept going back to those. They were ready for it. Then she went low on the skip. That connected, and now brings it back to the lob. And it makes you wonder, what type of shot will she try next? A 9-6 lead for UCLA. In the fourth meeting of the year between these two teams, Stanford took 2 out of 3 coming into the postseason, or I should say coming into the NCAA tournament. Stanford won in the MPSF semifinals. Exclusion. Power play for the Card, a must-have here for Stanford. Mina Simmons goes off. Here's Shab. Working around to Shab. Class takes a look. Class moving in. Bent! Pulled it back, but they'll say it's scored. Jamia Bent got a piece of it, was going back to get it, and the officials rule that was a goal, and a big one for the Cardinal. Class puts it away. So my mistake there, it looked as if they were ruling that as a goal, but instead it was called a penalty. And the penalty shot is converted by Class, so make it 9-7. Thought initially they were ruling that that ball had actually crossed through and was a goal, but instead a penalty called, and the result just the same. For the Cardinal, they needed a goal and they got one. On the other end. And that's an exclusion. As Ava Johnson working hard, Sophie Wallace will go off. UCLA on the advantage. Here's Ayala now. Looks for Drake. Works to Leibowitz. A few fakes, now Ayala. Leibowitz loads it up, field blocked away, but this is going to be tracked down by UCLA. Sides coming even, the advantage is over, but a new shot clock for the Bruins.
Counting through 4.5.
Timeout called by Adam Wright, and probably wishes he could take that one back as Maxon was popping up wide open on the post. Second look here. Oh, right off the head. Hannah Shab took a shot there, and we hope she's okay. Adam Wright's got the binder out. With 4:34 to play here in the fourth, a 9-7 lead for UCLA. Can we see that previous UCLA goal and what happened there that led to a penalty? Adam Wright's got the playbook out here. And UCLA got the robes out. They're not going to let anyone see what's going on. There's Shab, she seems okay. Do you have that last UCLA goal and then what happened for that penalty? Just about 4.5 to play here in the fourth. Winner moves on to the national championship. Stanford trying to make one last push here. They've been resilient throughout. So here's the previous play. This is where UCLA would score. This is UCLA scoring. Stanford had scored previously. I meant the Stanford goal, sorry. So this was the Sarah Class penalty. And she's able to hit there. Mia Benda stopped quite a few. But couldn't get a hand on that one. Now out of the timeout. 9-7, UCLA in front. And looking for more here. Under 4.5 to play in the fourth. Entry inside and tipped away and stolen. So the plan there was to get Leibowitz involved on the inside, but Stanford comes across to to tip it away for the steal. And now Stanford on the attack. Jones moving along 2 meters. Shab posting up inside, dealing with Hill. Jones goes inside, ball under is the call. She tries to thread that inside to Hannah Shab, and Abby Hill waiting right there to force the ball under. 3:45 to play in the fourth. Ayala stopped there. Here's Hill. Palmer now works to Leibowitz. Shot clock to 10. Palmer gives a look, puts it inside. Johnson trying to turn, draws the exclusion. Power play coming for the Bruins. The exclusion on Harbillas. 6-on-5 here for UCLA. And a new shot clock for the Bruins as well. Leibowitz works to Palmer. And now Hill. Swinging around. Drake. Leibowitz couldn't hang on. Exclusion evaporating. Sides even. Save Eichelberger. Big time stop for the redshirt senior in goal. And as well as UCLA has played, they have gone ice cold on the advantage. Now 2 for 9. 2:40 left, fourth quarter. Stanford will take a timeout, leaving one timeout on the board with 2:38 to play, fourth quarter. John Tanner, Susan Ortwine preparing their squad here with 2:38 left, trailing by 2. Stanford doesn't have too many possessions left to make this happen. They try and work their way back in. First 2 meetings between these two down to the wire. Close affairs. 12-11 Stanford on March 27th, 11-10 UCLA on March 28th. Then the Cardinal did the job 13-8 on May 1st in the MPSF semifinal. UCLA, of course, at 14-4 on the year coming in. They've shown they can beat the very best teams in the country. They're the only team to defeat USC this season. As you look up top, parking garage, Cardinal and Bruins well represented. And the Stanford fans a little stoic right now, looking on. Want to see if their team can battle back in this one. .236 left as Eichelberger puts it in play. Out of the timeout again, a variety of drives. All kinds of whitewater. And Constance will go to work. Shot clock to 3. They got to go. It's Romer with 3. Slides inside. Class, the turn, the field block. Ayala takes that one away from Class with time expiring on the shot clock. A big defensive stand from UCLA. 2:13 remaining, and the defending champions, the Cardinal, running short on time. Big pressure here from Harbillas. They'll go back to Bent. UCLA now in no rush offensively. Looking more to take time off the clock. And Adam Wright yelling out defense, foul, and protect. And perhaps be prepared to be fouled and then protect the ball. 1:47 left. Eichelberger now pushing ahead. Here's Wallace. Who will step up here? Inside, Shab turning. Shab still moving, draws the exclusion as Hannah Shab takes her defender for a ride. Power play now for Stanford. Big moment here for the Cardinal. Simmons excluded. Shab moving in. Pulls it back, Romer. Class takes a look. Shab. Constance in close, off the hand. They had the play for Wallace. She couldn't hang on, but then Romer comes to force a ball under. Shab goes bar out. Quick opportunity from Shab with time winding down and couldn't connect. They got it back, had an opportunity, and couldn't put it away. Now 1:09 left. And again, UCLA will spread things out, more concerned with taking time off the clock. And UCLA will call for time. They'll now have one timeout left with 1:02 remaining on the game clock, 21 on the shot clock. So for Stanford, it's a must stop here, and then they've got to go quickly. A testament to each side's defense. The power plays have been almost non-existent. The player down defense on each side, impressive stuff. UCLA 2 for 9 on the advantage. Stanford 1 for 7. Let's take a look back at what Stanford was trying to work with just moments ago on offense. Beautiful idea. They try and go inside to Wallace on the one time. She's in close. Great presence of mind from Romer to force the ball under. And then Shab, you understand this presence of mind. We're running out of time. Puts that on Cage and just off the mark. John Tanner now reviewing things with his team. As far as a focus on offense, Chloe Harbillas had those 2 big goals earlier. Jewel Romer has 2. Talk about throughout the season. Sarah Klass, Jewel Romer, those have been your go-to scorers. Harbillas as well, but if you're talking about outside shooters, Romer, that's her territory. In a scenario where maybe they won't have as much time to work the ball inside. But first things first for Stanford, defense. .102 left, fourth quarter. That's all that's separating UCLA Bruins from getting back to the NCAA championship match. For the first time since 2017.
1 minute, final minute of the regulation. Ayala, Austin Sarasinger.
Shot clock to 10. Cardinal want to be aggressive but not get excluded. There's Ayala, and they'll turn the ball over. UCLA gives it back, and that's everything Stanford could have hoped for. And they call for time. That's their final timeout. So 50 seconds left, 35 on the shot clock. Stanford has got to come out of this timeout and go to work right away. And they don't even bring the group to the side. This was just to give Stanford an opportunity to get things set up. Out of the timeout, here come the Cardinal. Eichelberger moving into the front court. Here's Romer. Romer takes a look. The skip is saved. Jamia Bent knocks it down for the Bruins. A fight for it. It'll be Bruin ball. And then an exclusion. Shab will be sent off for 20 seconds, and UCLA can sense it now. Red flag is out. That's all for Hannah Shab. She has fouled out. And the Bruins now will spread things out with 30 seconds left. A 5-second differential shot and game clock, but UCLA is in position to move on. Leibowitz will swim this one away. Just 8 seconds left. Sides coming back even. Leibowitz just taking time away. Eluding 2 defenders. With 2 on the shot clock, she'll dump that one away, and Stanford will have it with 6 seconds left, and there'll be a new champion in women's college water polo. The Cardinal won't repeat as UCLA is moving on to the national championship match. Eichelberger sails it high, and the Bruins win it 9-7. They'll get a chance to play for the title in their home pool. UCLA will take on USC. We'll have a classic Battle of Los Angeles for the championship tomorrow here in Westwood. And they love it upstairs. UCLA improves to 15-4. Stanford, their season ends at 13-6. And UCLA, they set the tone early. A big advantage early on. They go up 3-0, eventually 4-1. Stanford battles back. They tie this game at 4. They do go in front before UCLA retakes the lead and then has the answer late. The defensive effort from Jamia Bent, 18 huge saves. And there is Bent. Probably the best game in her college career. And she secures a strong defensive effort for UCLA that supplements an offensive effort that sees Brooke Maxson, a couple of lobs and a skip for 3 goals. Lexi Leibowitz with 2 important goals. And that's how our bracket will look heading into Championship Sunday. Top-seeded USC will take on number 3 and the host UCLA Bruins, the only team to defeat USC this season. So we should be headed for another thrilling matchup tomorrow for the NCAA Championship. For Stanford, the reigning NCAA champs see their season come to an end here. Chloe Harbillas, 2 big goals. Jewel Romer added 2 as well. Emilia Eichelberger, the redshirt senior, in cage with some important stops as well. And Hannah Shab coming back for the 5th year, an important veteran presence. But they come up just short in this one against the Bruins. And a celebration in the pool here at Speaker. UCLA moving on. We'll have UCLA and USC tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific for the championship right here on NCAA.com. Greg Meskel saying thanks for joining us, and we'll see you tomorrow where a champion will be crowned.